we've got a big one coming up. The men's 400 metres. We've got a big crowd here, as you can see, at the Brisbane Athletics Centre tonight. This Optus Grand Prix meet. And they have already tasted some wonderful action with the battle in the 100 for the women between Melinda Gainsford-Taylor and Lauren Hewitt going right to the line. Mel just edging out Lauren. And then the men's 100, Matt Shervington tonight exacting some revenge on Patrick Johnson. Plenty more great action coming up, including some of these guys doing action in the men's 400 right on the other side of this break. Welcome back to the Brisbane Athletics Centre. Men's 400 metres final coming up. And a big clash coming up here. Patrick Dwyer in lane 5. He has been the form runner in Australia this season. In lane 6, Derek Mills, who is a member of the American 4x4 relay team, which won the gold medal in Atlanta and also at the World Championships. It's Chris Troode in lane 1, Clinton Hill lane 2, Brad Jamieson lane 3, Daniel Batman lane 4, Patrick Dwyer in 5, Derek Mills 6, Paul Pearce in lane 7, Cameron Mackenzie in lane 8, Callum Taylor lane 9, and Eugene Farrell in lane 10.
Well, I'm really looking forward to this race, Terry. Really looking forward to Pat Dwyer hopefully being pushed by Derek Mills or being dragged through by him. He is on his inside lane. I think Pat Dwyer has shown so much promise over the last couple of years, but unfortunately injury has not allowed him to get there.
Jane Mills will need to be in shape because Patrick certainly is.
Oh yeah, he beat Matt Shervington over 200 metres recently and ran a phenomenal time over the 200, and he's very close to qualifying for that for the Olympic Games as well. Mind you, when you're up against a Michael Johnson and he runs 19:32 for a 200, you've got to be able to run a quick 2 to mix it with those boys over the 4.
It's by no means a two-man race either, as we've just gone past both Brad Jamieson and Daniel Batman, who are both very talented runners, but Patrick Dwyer has certainly had the wood on them this summer. Now we get to Mills in lane 6. It's an impressive resume, an Olympic gold medal and a World Championship gold medal.
And again, as we mentioned, it was difficult to make the hurdle teams in the States. I tell you, even to make the 4x400 team is very, very tough.
Paul Pearce there in lane 7, went to the World Juniors in 1996, made the final of the 200 in fact. Cameron Mackenzie in lane 8, won the B final in Canberra. Callum Taylor in lane 9.
Sixth in that Canberra race when Dwyer ran the 45:19 A qualifier. We had such a fantastic decade of 400-metre runners with Rick Mitchell and Darren Clark and Gary Minahan and Robert Stone and Mark Garner. And been a Miles Murphy. And we've been waiting for another one to come along, and it looks like this man might fill their shoes. Pat Dwyer.
Sorry, Jane, the meet record's quick, 45:66. Well, quick enough anyway. Jamie Bolch holds it, the Welsh runner, but it may go tonight.
Set.
And they're on their way. Keith Batman got a very good start. He might have got too good a start, Daniel Batman here in lane 4.
I think he did. Not very often you see a break in a 400 metres.
Not much power in
Have a look at 4.
Clearly breaking there, Batman. He was the runner on the second right of screen. He's actually in lane 4, but lanes 1 and 2 weren't in shot. There's Clinton Hill. He's in lane 2. Ran 3rd in the Canberra B final. 2:01 Chris Troode ran 4th in the Grand Prix event in Perth.
Athletics has come a long way in Australia. There used to be the time when the only time you ever got to run against the other top athletes was at the national championships or a state titles. Now it's every week, and the break has been awarded to Clinton Hill, not Daniel Batman. Clinton Hill in lane 2.
Mills, Pearce, Mackenzie, Taylor and Farrell.
The two favourites, Dwyer and Mills, just getting back towards their blocks. Always a sign of a bit of experience too, how people or how athletes handle a break. Go back, stand behind your blocks, collect yourself, and away you go again.
So Patrick Dwyer on screen. Unbeaten this summer in the Grand Prix events, winning in Canberra, Hobart and Perth. He's run 45.19, 45.85 and 45.31. His fastest time in Canberra.
Both Batman and Dwyer, of course, training partners with Matt Shervington.
Set.
Away, so it's clean this time, so it's Troode from the inside, then Hill. Jamieson, who went out well. Batman didn't get a good a start as he did the first time. Dwyer's gone out pretty well. He's passed Mills, then Pearce, Mackenzie. Taylor's gone out hard, and Farrell outside of him. So going out hard here, Taylor, with also Dwyer. Mills starting to come back, and Batman's right up there.
Batman's really taken it out. It'll be interesting to see how he holds together. He's got the inside running on Dwyer, so he can pace himself off it. This is where Dwyer really needs to start pushing through. Mills will come home strongly.
Mills too far back, Jane. Dwyer's home here. He's holding Batman. Jamison's making ground. Mills starting to warm up late with Pearce, but Patrick Dwyer well clear. Let's have a look at the time. He's run 45.51. It's a meet record, beating Daniel Batman and Brad Jamieson, and there is Australia's gun 400-metre runner at the moment.
I thought he came home very well over the last 50 metres. He really pulled away from the rest of the field.
It would have been nice to have Mills alongside him, pushing him, but Mills was no use to him. Mills was nowhere to be seen on the bend. Might have run 4th or 5th, Mills, but never a contender. Patrick Dwyer remains unbeaten on the Optus Grand Prix circuit this summer. Gets a congratulation from Derek Mills.
Have a look when he comes off the bend here. You can see him still running beautifully and keeping his form. And if anything, yes, he starts to pull further and further away from the field over the last 100 metres, which is a good sign. Certainly you'll need to be strong and fit to get through 3 or 4 rounds at the Olympic Games in this event. Very, very tough on your body. It's where Kathy Freeman's strength always shows through when she has to run rounds as well. Still pulling away from the field there, Patrick Dwyer. As he comes through that line, 45.50.
Daniel Batman second, continuing his good form. Second in Canberra, third in Hobart. Now running second in Brisbane. Brad Jamieson third. Paul Pearce ran pretty well. And Derek Mills, well, obviously not in shape at this early stage of his preparation, hopefully for the Olympic Games.
Sometimes you get the opportunity, Terry, to see athletes where you see them run and you just think they're born to run. And certainly I think Darren Clark was of that ilk. And I think Patrick Dwyer was the same. I love watching him run. He's beautifully balanced, great technique, and it all comes naturally to him. He just needs, I think, another 6 months for him will really take him up another level. He has that much ability. I have a lot of faith in him. And I think we'll see some of that come through when we get to the Olympic Games in September.
Well, he's represented Australia at the Olympic Games, sorry, at the Commonwealth Games and World Championship level. So it looks a formality that the Olympics will follow to suit later this year. Result of the men's 400, Patrick Dwyer first in 45.50, Daniel Batman second, 46.20, and Brad Jamieson third in 46.72. So some great action there from the women's pole vault, and we've seen some great action from this man, Patrick Dwyer. He's with Tim Sheridan.
Patrick still trying to make good a fairly serious oxygen debt here, but a great season so far, unbeaten. What do you put this down to?
Basically, good coaching by Michael Kamel. I've been working very hard as well. I'm racing more than I ever have before. This is really my first season in 2 years. So all those things combined.
Your form was great over those last couple of 100 metres. We're having a look at you here now, keeping it together beautifully.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I've been really working on with my training partner Daniel Batman, is coming off the curve. If you're not giving it all off the curve, you're never going to come home.
Yeah, you were still pulling away at this stage. You've got Derek there. Well, he was, not going to push you at any stage. You were next to him after 120 metres.
Well, I think it's very hard from the athletes coming from the USA and stuff. I mean, this is their off season, so I wouldn't think that he'd be too disappointed with that run. I mean, he'd be in his winter training phase, but at the same time, it's still a nice victory.
Can you crack 45 this season?
I think it's possible, yeah.
Mike, what's he said about it?
It's definitely a goal for both of us, but I'm still making mistakes running now, so it's just a matter of running a perfect race.
Patrick, congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much.